We all fight battles within, right? But a lot of us can hide it and maintain a normal life. Let's talk about the ones that can't. What about them? Fjällom on den här snämmen. Det är inte så bra. Jag vet inte vad jag får ju.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Nothing. Just trying to do too much at one time. What's up?
We still going for brunch today?
Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment in about an hour. It should be done by noon. Just come meet me at the house.
Alright, I'll see you later. Bye. Hello?
What's happening? What you doing?
Just getting ready to meet Chris.
Man, I thought me and you had an understanding, man.
What you mean?
You still kicking it with her?
I don't want her to suspect anything. I don't want to make it obvious.
Man, whatever, man. Just pull up on me when y'all get done doing what y'all doing.
Okay. Where are you at now?
Still at this stinking ass hotel.
Alright, I'll call you in a little while.
Yeah.
Ready yet? I'm aware of that. Just give me another minute. Just wear what you got on. Really? I'm not about to go in nobody's restaurant looking like this.
Why? You dress soulful anyways.
Soulful? What do you mean by that?
You're just the type of person to throw some shit on and wear it out.
So, I can't dress? Is that what you're saying?
Relax, it's just a joke, it ain't that deep.
So that's why you don't invite me around your friends, huh?
What are
out. I know what the fuck they be saying. Don't bring Chris around me. Chris is crazy. I know what the fuck they be saying.
You need to calm down.
You're fake as hell. You can get the fuck out.
Chris.
You think this is a fucking game. You
Chris.
think it's a game.
Chris, what the hell? Put that down, Chris. Put that down. Hey, I'm about to pull up. Alright, bye.
Thought you was going with Crystal.
Man, there's something wrong with Chris.
What do you mean? What happened?
She came at me with a knife saying I was talking shit about her behind her back.
Oh shit, she didn't take the meds.
Medicine?
Yeah, about a few months ago she was diagnosed with that bipolar shit. She been on meds ever since. Man, that shit got bad.
I wonder why she didn't tell me.
Man, I can't give you her reason, but that was part of the reason me and her broke up. I couldn't take that shit.
Do you think she knows about you and me?
Nah, she would have said something. You know she not that type to hold shit in.
I am a real shitty friend.
Hell yeah.
Wait, hold on, this is her calling now.
Man, fuck all that, man. Fuck all that, man. Let's go get some food, crank the car, man. Let's go, man. Fuck all that shit, man. Let's go. Going through tough times, it's the best way to know who really loves you. Because love ain't something you can just turn on and off. It's either you love someone or you don't. You're either loyal or you're not. Even though Chris is struggling mentally, that saved her from a fake friendship and a fake relationship. Don't get it twisted. Chris was wrong for what she did, but she was right for doing it. Do you feel what I'm saying? If you know someone struggling mentally, be there for them. Let them know you care. It's already hard enough to go through it, but it's even harder to go through it alone. Let your friends know it's okay. It's okay to take meds. It's okay to have that problem. Let them know it's gonna be all right.
Hi everyone. So in today's episode, Chris kind of loses her shit. We want to talk about how mental illness plays into these actions. This is not normal behavior. A lot of times we see on reality TV just snapping out and it's okay, but those anger outbursts can have consequences. Cops can be called, people can be hurt. So, we want to talk about mental health on this episode and how we can identify some symptoms of mental illness and what to do in a mental health crisis. So what Chris's friend doesn't know is that she was recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder from her primary care doctor. Chris told her doctor that she was having signs and symptoms of extreme mood changes, feeling paranoid, having self-image and body image issues, dealing with social media, the anxiety of keeping up a certain image and what other people think of her. And she was prescribed medication. As you can see in this episode, she didn't really seem to be big on taking her medication, not dealing with the bipolar symptoms, whether that would be with medication or counseling, not dealing with it kind of helped to get to, the situation that we're in today's episode. So we just want to highlight, some of the signs and symptoms of mental illness to watch out for, and talk about what you can do if you or someone you love is experiencing signs and symptoms of mental illness before it escalates to a mental health crisis, which is what we have going on in today's episode with Chris snapping clean out. So some of the signs and symptoms that you can look for are going to be feeling sad, withdrawn, isolating, excessive fear or worry, thinking about the same thing over and over again, extreme mood changes, highs and lows, feeling a reduced ability to be able to focus or concentrate on tasks that you need to do, detachment or inability to cope. So, sometimes an elephant in the room kind of thing, and the person just does not seem to be dealing with it at all. Major changes in energy, eating, or sex drive, excessive alcohol or drug use, hopelessness, and suicidal thinking are all signs and symptoms of mental illness that, really need to be paid attention to. And of course, this is not an exhaustive list. There's many other, signs and symptoms, and when you know people, sometimes you can pick up, on their individual, traits and just what's not normal for them. So the other thing that we want to think about when we're looking at these signs and symptoms and what kind of approach that we need to take to managing mental health is the frequency and duration of these symptoms. So how often are they happening and how long are they lasting, right? Are they interfering with work, with school, with relationships? Or, is it kind of going on in the background and we can still manage it ourselves? But once you get to the point where it really is becoming a problem with your daily life and your daily routine, it might be a good idea to seek professional help at that point. Some things that you can do if you or your loved one is experiencing signs and symptoms of mental illness, before you get to the point of professional help would be, getting the plan together. So tell your loved ones, the people closest to you, the people that you trust, this is what's going on, this is what I'm feeling, and, these are the actions that I'm going to take to try to get better. So identify the source of negative feelings. If that is a person, place, or thing, if it's a worry for the future, if it's a trauma from the past, just trying to be real with yourself and, acknowledge what it is. Sometimes it's a combination of things, and sometimes you don't know what it is, and that's real too. Finding ways to change the environment or address the issue when possible. So if it is a person, place, or thing, what can you do in your environment to change that, to get rid of them, to adjust, the space to make it easier? If you're talking about addressing the issue, sometimes that can be like a discussion or an action. Sometimes it's going to be more of a passive thing. So, acknowledging something from the past or maybe something from the present or the future that you can't control, and, maybe writing down the concerns, journaling them, or, just speaking them, but then also finding a way to heal, to let go, to, be at peace, have patience. And again, sometimes we don't know what it is, and we just have to go through that journey of self-exploration to find what it is and find what will help. Another thing that we can do is changing our perspective. So if we know we're having patterns of negative thinking, if we're having thoughts that come into our mind that, they're negative, they're not focused on the positive, for the future, for hope, we need to acknowledge these thoughts and, start by changing them. So what can we do to flip them around, to make them positive, to find, what we're going to do instead of beating ourselves up in our head? So there's actually evidence-based research about this approach. And, of course it is easier said than done to just tell yourself to be positive, right? But there's two approaches in particular: cognitive behavioral therapy, which is, a therapy that is addressing our thoughts and how our thoughts impact our behaviors, our actions. So when we start by dealing with our thoughts and what's in our head, what we're telling ourselves, we're then able to influence and change our behaviors. The second one is going to be called dialectical behavioral therapy. So again, literally, what are we telling ourselves? And how does that affect our behaviors, the things that we're doing on a daily basis? It may sound silly to just tell yourself to think positive, but there is actually science behind that. And it's not a light switch. It's not something that you can just, tell yourself one day and all the negative thoughts go away. It's a process. It's, a journey. It's daily work. And, the negative thoughts, of course, they will creep back in. But just knowing that you have the power, the ability to talk to yourself, to change those thoughts, to change those actions, it really helps to give hopefulness for the future. Also focusing on self-care and physical health. If we're trying to have mental health, it's really important that, we are taking care of ourselves, our spirit, our body. So self-care, things like getting enough rest, taking baths, immersing ourselves in water, getting sun, going, outside in a way to where, we're touching the earth, we're feeling grounded, feet in the ground and the grass and the sand, but just having those experiences with ourselves and with nature so that we feel cared for and rested. Also with our physical health, just thinking about, the nutrients that we're putting into our body. So whole foods, healthy fruits and vegetables that are going to give us, vitamins and minerals and the things that we need to thrive, for our brain to, give us the right chemistry. When we think about, physical activity, I don't even want to call it exercise because I don't want to scare people into thinking you have to exercise, but, just walking, stretching, those kind of things are going to release endorphins and dopamine for you. So it is literally, science-based approaches to managing mental health through, some self-care things, some nature, some meditation, your diet, physical activity. It sounds like it doesn't matter, like it might not impact your mental health, but really it's like all the little things that add up. So the last thing we want to touch on is what to do if you are in a moment where you or someone else is experiencing a mental health crisis. So in a moment where someone is a danger to themselves or others, that is the definition of a crisis. And in that moment, it often is appropriate to call 911 or to reach out to the county or city, locality mental health crisis team. There's some other things you can do if you're that person or you're an individual standing by, just trying to remain calm. Do not argue with delusions. If someone is believing something that's completely out of touch with reality, that's okay in this moment. In a crisis situation, the priority is just to keep them safe, keep everybody safe. It's okay if they're believing things right now that aren't true. Just go with it. Validate their feelings no matter what they are. So, if they're upset with other people, but there's at least one person that, they're willing to have a conversation with, be that person. Let them have those negative feelings about other people. Just try to be supportive. I'm here for you. I want to help you. What can I do for you? Leading to the next point, just kind of reassuring safety. If you can, providing emotional or physical support. So, asking them, again, what can I do? What are you upset about? If you can provide any physical support, food, water, blanket, safe place, ride to the ER. There's usually 2 ways to check in or be checked in a crisis situation. So that's going to be basically voluntarily committing yourself and saying, I know that I'm not in a right state of mind. I'm a danger to self or others. I'm going to sign myself in. Or having a doctor make the claim that you are a danger to self or others. And then in that case, the medical team makes that decision and you are committed. In which case, there's some hoops to jump through and things before you get out. So just being aware of how serious it can be if you do experience a mental health crisis can sometimes save us.